We know what's happened to this country, and we know how we need to fix it. You've made the case. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, if I can begin with that observation, as we look at the 2010 election cycle, which, as I will tell you in a moment, is going to be so important, as we look at the 2010 election cycle, it is about whether the people in this room can teach a lesson to Democrats around the state and teach us how to make a case, how to tell the truth about what we believe in our values. How did we start today? You repeated your tradition of listing casualty numbers, of the numbers of dead for our soldiers fighting 2 wars overseas. You do that at every one of your meetings at the beginning. It is your way of giving honor to people who love their country and who act on that love for their country. What do we do after that? We say the pledge. We affirm, as Americans do all over this country, our belief in the goodness and the essentialness of the values of this country. When we do that, we're sending a signal to people that you can be a Democrat and love your country and have your faith and care about the essentialness of this country. You're doing that. You do it in other ways. You are making a case, ladies and gentlemen, about who we are as Democrats. And frankly, we Alabama Democrats do fine when we make our case. When we fail to make our case, when we let our opposition define us, when we let our opposition act as if the way we used to be is a determinant of what we will be, we lose elections. So I want to invite all of you. I'm going to talk more about the governor's race in a moment. But I want to invite all of you to keep on investing in and keep on believing in this party. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we're 102 days into a new administration. And because of people like us all around this country, we have a new president. And I don't know about you, but when I picked up my newspaper this morning and turned on my computer last night and saw that David Souter was leaving the bench, I was so glad that the person replacing him has the values of Barack Obama. I was glad to see that. I'm glad to see as we chart our way out of the deepest economic recession since the 1950s. We lost 6 points. We were 6 points in the last quarter, 7.3 points in the quarter before that. Biggest 2-month contraction since 1957. I'm so glad that Barack Obama, frankly, is the person charting his way through those difficult decisions. So we don't have to be on the run anymore. We don't have to say, we're Democrats. We don't have to hide our light behind the bushel. And in case you wonder if it's working, may I favor you with just a few statistics that may surprise you. The best pollster in the state of Alabama who doesn't work for me is Gerald Johnson with AEA. What he determined about President Obama's popularity 2 weeks ago? A guy who got somewhere between 10 and 16% of the white vote and 39% of the vote overall. Today, Barack Obama has a 53% approval rating in the state of Alabama. And since approval rating is the greatest predictor of whether people will vote for an incumbent, if we could get a do-over next week, Barack Obama would carry the state of Alabama, ladies and gentlemen. That's movement and that's progress. We didn't have to wait a generation for the world to come around to us. He's done a good enough job and is putting plans in place that are growing our economy and will grow our economy. He has done enough of the right things. And when he went abroad, we saw an American president speaking for American values. For the first time in 8 years, we saw the world rallying around our values. That is why his numbers are moving up in Alabama. He's making the case. So keep on believing. talk about an election that is going to be the most important governor's race in a generation. I want to begin that conversation by saying, and I mean this with perfect seriousness, you are going to have a wonderful field of Democratic candidates. Ron Sparks has been a superb agriculture commissioner. I've worked with him on a range of issues over the last 7 or 8 years. He cares about our farmers, he cares about the rural pockets in our state, and he values people. Ron Sparks, I believe, would be a very good nominee and a good governor. Roger Bedford, if he is so inclined to do so, would be a good nominee and a good governor. The state senator who has fought for people all over this state. The state senator who's worked enormously hard to fight for the things that people in this room care about in Montgomery, and someone who came so close to stopping Jeff Sessions from sitting in judgment on judicial nominees. Sue Bell Cobb, whether she runs or not run, has been a superb Chief Justice of the Alabama Supreme Court. She has been my friend for a number of years. She is a person of enormous dignity and enormous grace. Whichever combination of those individuals end up in this race, whichever combination of those individuals join me in stepping up to the plate, I would be honored to stand on a stage with them. I will be honored to match my vision and my goals for this state against them. Because, ladies and gentlemen, one of us needs to become governor of the state. One of us Democrats needs to have a chance to be the person who's crafting a budget in 2011 when the stimulus money has run out and when our tax revenues will likely still be down. One of us needs to have an opportunity to sit in that chair. One of us needs to be the one who charts the agenda for how we can build and strengthen public education in this state in the next decade. One of us needs to lead the fight for a constitution that sounds like a 21st century and not 1901. One of us needs to lead the fight to level the walls between urban and rural. And let me assure you, if I didn't think I was the best person to do it, I would not be running. Let me assure you of that. Now, how do we think about this election? I want to put a face on it. Several weeks ago, actually verging on this point, a couple of months, the campaign trail kills your sense of time, I gotta tell you that. A couple of months ago, I got a phone call from the CEO of Weyerhaeuser. Called me on a Friday afternoon and said, Davis, I want you to know something that I'm going to tell the people of my plant at Pine Hill in about an hour. We're closing our doors. Yes, we're the strongest, sturdiest employer in Southwest Alabama. We provided a base and a lifeline for a generation of families. It ends as of 4 o'clock today. 330,000 people, 330 people out of work. 330. A week later, I went down there and I met with about 100 of those individuals. A woman stood up in the audience and she said to me, I never thought this would happen. I was working for the best. When I would hear about my friends being unemployed, I would think, thank God I work for Weyerhaeuser, where I've got good benefits and they treat me well and they allow us to unionize.